Good evening, Your Excellency.
Good evening.
Some of your critics regularly bring up a statement you made, and this statement dates back to the very beginning of your time in power, when you said that if everything was put in place, 3 months would be enough to move towards ending the war. These critics now say that 3 years later, the war is still not completely over. Mr. President, how do you respond to this tonight?
All right, thank you very much, and thank you all for coming to this interview. It's true, that's what we would have wished for, but things did not go as expected, and I said if everything was put in place. So, there are several approaches to implement in order to achieve this goal within the given time frame, but not everything was carried out as we had hoped. First, adversity. So, as soon as we came to power, we had hoped that we would be allowed to work quickly and make progress. Unfortunately, some people approached us and wanted us to go along with their agenda, because their goal was not for the war to end so soon. I'm talking about certain foreign forces that were present on our soil. We had heated debates with diplomats from elsewhere on the matter, but no one wanted us to move toward ending this war. We understood this through their message. If people come to us and tell us that we have to accept that they support the terrorists while also supporting us, it means exactly what it sounds like. This is a war being deliberately maintained. So we quickly understood and got rid of all the forces that were present here, whether they were French forces, American forces, and we realized that the struggle would be tough. The second thing was also that we believed we at least had a minimum stock of weapons and ammunition. Today, I can tell you what I actually found in stock, for example. There was, for all of Burkina, less than 100,000 Kalashnikov rounds, and as for weapons, we barely had 100. How were we supposed to wage a war? We had to re-equip ourselves, reinforce the army in terms of personnel, weaponry, and everything else. That's why the 3-month objective, if this prerequisite had been met, would have been entirely possible, but there was nothing. We were not prepared for war, neither in terms of equipment nor in terms of manpower.
Precisely, Mr. President. As you just said, when you took power, if we want to put it bluntly, there were more men than ammunition in the Burkinabe army. And today, where do we stand with the armament program for that army? And what are the signs that it is gradually gaining strength?
Very well. As I said, I can't fully describe the situation as it was. It was catastrophic. And as I mentioned, you might be concerned. There may even be soldiers in this room who were on the front lines without weapons. That actually happened in our army. So these are situations where you might think it was just, I wouldn't say bad faith, but rather an incomprehensible situation. For us, the weapons were there, but they refused to equip us. But when we were confronted with reality, we quickly decided to first focus on arming the personnel who were present. And that's when it became the Banner Korea. Because many powerful countries refused to supply us with weapons. So we turned to those who were willing to supply us with weapons. Very quickly we equipped ourselves, we recruited the VDP, and we were able to pay for everything we needed.